when we started Animation Mentor, we actually didn't know that we were going to end up doing an online animation school. But one of the things that we quickly realized was, given where the technology was headed, that the internet was going to be big enough that it was going to change a lot of things. And I feel like that's been one of the things that we've been trying to like stay on top, which is how can we use technology and internet and where communications are headed to benefit education. What is it that we are doing using that technology to improve what is being done in education over the last few decades, over the last generations? Because for us it was important to, if we are going to go online, one big sacrifice was going to be the personal interaction. We don't have the luxury to have one teacher and one student on the same room. But at the same time, we worked really hard at figuring out what are the pros that we will have, by having interaction online with people from other countries. The other part was like, are there more things that we can actually do using technology that could even outdo like the regular classroom model? So what we found, and something that was kind of like a discovery for me, was that using specific tools, you can actually learn not just from your own teacher, but also from multiple teachers. And not only just from your own classmates within your classroom, but from the entire school. And what I was finding was that was actually speeding up the learning process for the students. Additionally, I feel like where we are at on this generation, like students are quicker, way faster at learning things than we were on our generations. Now with all the new social media and everything, like they are way smarter at getting things. They can multitask like nobody's business. So I feel like it's been up to us, and also like for Animation Mentor, it's been very important to keep up with where the technology is headed and how can we use that to continue pushing education. Because it's I feel like it's all changing so fast that one of the things that we've been very excited about with Animation Mentor and in where we are with education is just there's a lot of tools out there right now, and it's for us it's been up to us to like figure out how can we best provide education using these tools to the students. It doesn't matter whether they live in California, Australia, Europe. At the end of the day, you are still using these tools to get that information out there to them as good as you can. The other part for us is being the community, which has been a big one. For us, we were trying to stay away from doing your standard teaching, and what I mean by that is when we started doing this, we told ourselves, okay, me as an animator, the only way I'm actually learning a lot is by getting out there and bringing a camera and getting a lot of reference. So what we ended up doing was, early on, we were like, let's just go out there and actually give some of the lectures out there in the field. Let's try to break away and try take some risks out of the regular model of education, which is your classroom, and let's see what that creates. So what we found was not only some of those lectures were interesting because they were not in a classroom, but also it allowed you to be yourself, and it allowed you to just basically talk to the students as if you were right there with them in a way. And out of that, it also there was some informal. Let me see, how do I say this? Like basically, out of this different model of education became that the community of the students that were joining our school were actually really enjoying the experience and having a lot of fun while learning. So that was a big realization for us, that not only they were learning a lot, or we hope they were, but in addition to that, they were having a fantastic time. So that's been another big thing for us. It's like, if they're going to be spending that many hours working every week, every day, might as well, let's just try to give them like a fun ride. Not, learning shouldn't be boring, in my opinion. So, and I have taken classes growing up and in high school and everything where half the time I was falling asleep in the classes. So we were trying to stay away from that and make it so that it was a little more dynamic. The future of animation education, I feel like it's gonna be like a hybrid of things. I mean, I feel like technology is definitely gonna have a big impact. I mean, it is affecting, whether we like it or not, technology, and it's affecting our daily lives. And I feel like the same way that is affecting our daily lives, even outside education, is also affecting education. So right now with things, like with social media, there's a lot of changes. And I feel like those are very well gonna affect education. All of a sudden now you have a tool like Google Plus where you can have multi-conferences, and that's becoming like, just like with Facebook, all of a sudden there's like a new way of communicating with people, regardless of where their location is. So I just feel like education, no matter what, is going to be affected by that. And what we have been finding out through the school is there's been a lot of things that the students do on their own using all these social media tools that are helping their animation education experience as well. So there'll be a lot of like gatherings that happen parallel to while they're learning, and so basically they gather outside the school through this social media, and they continue learning and they continue talking about animation, and it's almost like they talk about animation like 10 times more than we were talking about it when we didn't really have internet at the time. So I just feel like all these things are affecting where education is headed, and I don't see it like just as a particular model where it is just, I just see it as a mix of things. So after I graduated from college, I worked on commercials for a few years, and I work in different companies, being that Will Vinton, now Leica, Walbrain, Click3X, and then from there I went to join Industrial Light and Magic in 2001. I was there for a year and a half. That's actually where I met some really good friends, and from there I actually went to Pixar, and at Pixar I have been since 2002 until recently, where I've been taking a bit of time off to focus my time on a project outside Pixar. It's more of a personal short film. While I continue learning about animation and learning about animation education and all this stuff. So it's tricky. It's a lot of work. I'm finding out doing personal projects, sometimes it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of people too. So I'm currently working on that. And the last project I worked on at Pixar, it was Toy Story 3. I was on pre-production on a feature film. But yeah, since 2 months ago, I've been trying to learn all this other stuff outside.